If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. When will Travis Scott's new album, Utopia, actually come out? We've gotten a lot of interesting news over the past couple of days with the Road to Utopia events that I'm sure all of y'all have seen, and we're going to discuss when this album will actually come out, what the evidence is for it so far, and what theories are out there. So let's jump straight into this. So just to get everybody caught up on what's been happening with Utopia, we've gotten several hints over the past year, honestly. Of course, on November 5th, during the Astroworld Festival, we've gotten that tragic incident that happened with over 10 people dying in the show and the crowd, and Travis after that kind of retreating from the spotlight. But also on that day, he dropped 2 singles. We had Mafia and also Escape Plan that dropped on the same day that were titled as this Dystopia package, and at that point, we still thought that Dystopia was going to be a mixtape before Utopia, just like Days Before Rodeo was before Rodeo, and da-da-da-da. You all heard this. I made a lot of videos on this. And since then, not a lot happened. We're still here, and we're still waiting for Utopia. At this point, we've kind of dialed back on the theory that Dystopia will actually drop before Utopia. At this point, it's kind of looking like Utopia is going to be the one, just judging also from the fact that he's had that name in his bio, also judging from the fact that he had the billboard signs up, the Utopia billboard signs. Are you looking for Utopia? All of that stuff. He's been doing a couple more performances over the past couple of months now. The Billboard Music Awards were a big one that he was performing at. So all of that happened, and only a couple of days ago, we've gotten confirmation that he announced something big, and this is the kind of like the basis for all the theories and all the speculation that people are now basing this on. And what I'm talking about is that the Zouk nightclub in Las Vegas. I don't know if y'all all know that place. I didn't before then, but it's a pretty cool spot for like music fans. I gotta admit, and we'll get into why in a second. But they confirmed that Travis Scott will have this event series called Road to Utopia that is going to be taking place on 7 distinct occasions, 7 different dates that they're going to be hosting. And this is big, obviously, because it's called Road to Utopia. Like, that is pretty clearly saying that this is the way to Utopia, the rollout for Utopia, the album that is then coming out. So this is pretty big, and this nightclub is hosting it. We've gotten 2 dates so far. 2 dates that you can buy tickets for, which is a Saturday, September 17th, and another Saturday, October 15th. And we don't have the other dates yet. And we're going to get into why these dates are a bit more important in a second. But I want to get into some more details about this because, these Travis Scott shows that are coming up are pretty cool. For one, they said that this club has like a really cool system, like a lighting system in place. They call it Mothership, which is just a crazy name. That's like such a boss name. And they said that he will make use of this. Obviously, it has like a visual experience that moves to the music and all of that. So just imagine a Travis Scott show in that place. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait for some footage from those events. And they said, now detailing also this was from an official Billboard report. They said that he's set to run through his top hits, obviously, but then also feature previews of upcoming tracks. And if this thing is called Road to Utopia and he's previewing new tracks, pretty likely gonna be tracks from Utopia. We've seen like Lost Forever already being performed at the BBAs, so stuff like that is probably gonna be performed there as well. But let's actually get into why this is so interesting. We know there's gonna be 7 different occasions, 7 dates. And when you look at the first 2, we got one in September, middle of September, and the other one almost exactly a month later on October 15th. Now that's a time span of a month in between. And unless he's willing to pump out the last 5 occasions and last 5 events within a month, there's not a good chance that this album is coming out this year still. Like, there's not a pretty good chance that this album is coming out in 2022 if we like kind of calculate it forward. The third show would be in November, the 4th in December, the 5th in January, the 6th in February, and the 7th in March, and then maybe the album will drop in March or April. That's kind of what we can kind of deduce from that, just judging from the dates we have so far. Now, I've seen a couple of theories thrown around, though. Now, NFR Podcast made a great episode on this. I recommend you go watch those guys. Amazing work they do. But they also kind of brought in the argument of, what if Travis drops before? What if this Road to Utopia is kind of like the promotion following the release that is going to just carry the hype and just move it forward? And we're going to get more tracks previewed there. He's going to make a whole series about this, but Utopia is the starting point. Now, also another theory is that Dystopia will drop before this whole thing, starts out on September 17th. So that mixtape that I talked about, which we've kind of unanimously agreed is not going to be a whole different mixtape aside from Utopia. But look, my hope for that really dies when we actually get that confirmation. Until then, I'm still like hyping it up. So the other theory is that Dystopia will drop before, and then Utopia will be introduced with these 7 events that are happening. So that's the theory that I hope is true, so that we do get some more material. Even if Dystopia isn't a whole tape, even if Dystopia is just another 2-pack like it was the first Dystopia pack we got on November 5th, of which the Astroworld Festival was on, even if it's just something like that, just something to hold us over, I think would be very important for Travis Scott in the current state of his career, where people are expecting something, he's getting back to performing, but he's still not completely over the backlash of what happened at Astroworld Festival. So that's the spot where I see him at. That's kind of like what I'm guessing that this whole thing is moving towards. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what these Road to Utopia residency events will actually hold, and what we can get from those, if there's going to be new music previewed that we haven't heard before, if it's just going to be the snippets like Lost Forever that we've heard, for example, in the Billboard Awards as well, or if it's going to be different parts of Utopia. Maybe we'll get a release like scattered throughout those seven events. Maybe it'll be something like the Donda listening parties. Of course, it's all just theories, but that's the kind of like the first things that come to my mind when I heard these news. And so my guess is that something will come still this year, but the actually big album Utopia, I don't think is going to drop before March 2023, when the 7 dates end that he's going to be performing at the Zouk nightclub. So that's my theory. Something is coming, but Utopia going to be dropping after March of 2023. I hope that this would kind of like, get all people caught up on what's been happening and kind of clear things out a little bit. But now I want to know what you think about this. When do you think Utopia is dropping? Do you think something is dropping before Utopia? How do you feel about him doing these events? How do you feel about the Zouk nightclub performance location? Is that going to be just crazy with the mothership and whatever they got going on there? It sounds insane. So I'm going to be looking forward to something like that. And all of your thoughts, your theories, whatever you came up with, let me know. Really let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.